something with just a sense of touch.
Gotcha.
Okay, but two forms of it. One from me and one from you. Okay, and this is kind of a cool thing. So, for example, if I do this again, you should be able to see them in there if I do that. Okay, I'll mix these up like this. Again, I'll look the other way. You just say stop wherever you like.
Stop.
Have you got one? 100%?
Yep.
Definitely got one?
Yep.
Okay. Again, like I said, I'm not going to go through and try and find what this is. This is not that type of thing whatsoever. I'm going to mix these up like that, nice and mixed, and you're going to take hold of them. Here's what I want you to do. Square them up as if you were going to deal, right? Just square them all up in your hands and just really get that feeling along the side with your hands. You can really feel all those edges. Keep them all square in your hands, that's it. And just at some point where you feel is right, cut about half of them off onto my hands. Okay, fair? And just put the rest of them under my thumb.
Under your thumb?
That's it. So right here is where you've cut, okay?
Yeah.
This is your part of that sense of touch, right? I'm not going to move these at all. You can cut anywhere, okay? Take your left hand up like this for me. Just touch my fingertip like that. And like this. All I want you to do is concentrate on your card. Ready? Did you feel that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's red. Mm-hmm. It's a diamond.
Yeah. What the
Five of diamonds.
What the yeah. How the hell?
But listen, this here is just one part of that sense of touch. This is me. The other part was what you did at the very beginning. And that's right here. And this is where you cut the deck.
Yeah.
You were thinking of the five of diamonds?
Yeah.
Look where you cut.
What the That's wild.
This is a black card. This is a club.
Yes.
Four of clubs.
Yes.
But wait, this here, this is just one level of sense of touch. This is with me. We can do two like this, but actually the second one isn't really that at all. The second is exactly where you cut. And if we look, ready? Four of clubs. Right. This was the one you were thinking of, right?
Yes. Yes. I can only say yes one way. Yes. Yes. That was awesome.
Red.
Yes.
It's a heart. Six. Wait. Come in. Look, this gets even weirder. Look at this. Right now, that was one sense of touch, and that was mine.
Okay.
To get a card from your head, but for you to do this is something else. You cut these wherever you liked, right? Six of hearts.
Oh man.
That's scary.
That's crazy.
That's scary.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to just think of your card. Ready?
Okay.
Just don't say anything out loud. Just think of it. Ready?
Yes.
Did you feel that?
I did.
Yeah,
yes.
It's black. It's a spade. Eight of spades. Wait, this gets worse. This gets worse. Come in. Jack of diamonds. The thing is, shall be right up here. I said this is one sense of touch that was with me. The other was with you.
Yeah.
Remember you cut the cards?
Yes.
You cut right here. Jack of diamonds. That was the one you were thinking of. Right?
Oh my God.
But here's the thing. This here is one sense of touch, and it's mine. But we started at the beginning with one of yours, right here. And this is where you decided to cut, okay? The King of Hearts was what you had in mind. That's exactly what you did.
What? Why did you do that?
Did you feel that? Yeah. It's black card. It's a club. Look at me, don't walk away. 10 of clubs. Wait, when we were here like this, right, this was a sense of touch. One level of it, and it was from me.
Yeah.
But then there was another part that was from you, and that was here when you reached down and you cut the cards. And you had any card in mind. This was the 8 of spades, and this is where you cut. 8 of spades, look.
Wow.
That's crazy. Like, yo,
I was watching the whole time.
is crazy.
Here we are, the explanation for the touch. Number one, this is the touch, number one, and I created this so I could go around touching people. Jokes, I don't like touching them, they're all grim. No, I created this because I wanted to have something that had a feeling of mind reading, a real feeling of mind reading, without me having to really say it, without me having to say I can read your mind or I have some powers that you don't have. I don't want to do that. I'm going to actually focus on something else and just give them the experience of it and say something else. So when I start this, I will often say something like, we're going to play, I often say, we talk about playing games because that's what these are, right? They're all games. I say, we're going to do something with a sense of touch. In fact, two forms of sense of touch, one from me and one from you. And so I'll shuffle the cards or I'll let them shuffle or whatever it is. And at some stage, I'll say, okay, I want you to have a card in mind. And again, we're going to use that sneaky peek, the fingertip peek. I'll come in here, I'll look the other way. We'll do this. They say stop. They have a card. Great, you have one in mind. I'll do the squeeze up at the fingertips. Still maintaining control, in this case, the 10 of diamonds. And at this point, all I need to do really is control this to the bottom. There are a number of ways that you can control this to the bottom. You could either cut these into their hands and do that, or you can do a classic pass. If you do a classic pass at this second or a triple pass or anything like that, you're going to have this 10 of diamonds on the bottom. You could then do a slip shuffle, this, or a riffle shuffle, making sure you don't accidentally flash that card, and you keep this here. So, but the way in which I do this, so like I said, we're going to use two forms of sense of touch, one from me and one from you. I go up, I do the peak like this, boom, they get one in. I say, great, so we're going to start, you're going to have something in mind. Do you have one? Yes. They say yes, we'll shuffle these up, we'll do any of this stuff we want. All I'm doing is controlling this down. I say, okay, great. Would you hold on to these for me? And as I'm shuffling them like this and doing this, I'm going to have whatever was peaked on the bottom here. So we just hold on to these for me. And as soon as they do, and they go into their hands, I'll say, right, okay, now I want you to hold them as if you were going to deal maybe in a game, but I want you to allow your fingers to really feel around the edges of those cards, really kind of take that sense of touch with all of your fingers on those cards and really feel the edges of them. They're quite smooth, whatever that is. And they're like, yep, okay, just make sure you can feel all the way around. I go, okay. I'll say, right now, just lift off about half of those cards. Just allow that sense of touch to come in and just feel wherever is right. I want you to just cut somewhere inside and just place them on my hand, which they do. So they're going to place these on my hand. Oh, I forgot to mention something. So in doing so, because I'm controlling this to the bottom like this, at some stage, all I need to do is peek what that bottom card is. That's it. So, and again, you can do that in a number of ways, whether you've done this and control it to the bottom. If you do an all-around square up, we can see from above here, in the action of doing an all-around square up, we talked about this in the basic handling or the technical elements of this so far in terms of squaring a deck. By doing this, it actually allows you to peek the bottom card, or you could simply say to them, would you hold your hand out for me? And in pointing forward at the hand, you can simply just look at the bottom card. So after you've done a shuffle, go, great, okay, would you hold your hand out for me? I've now seen it and I can hand it to them. Or you could say, are you right or left-handed? Okay, are you right or left-handed? And I can see it now. And then I hand it to them. There are many ways to do that, but all that really matters is you have the control, go through this process, shuffle. Okay, would you hold your hand out for me? Great, hold on to these, and I give it to them. They are now holding this in their hands. I go through that feeling of sense of touch, whatever that is, and I say, just cut about half of those onto my hand, cut a portion on, any way you like, and they do that. And then I say, put the rest of them under my thumb. So the rest of them now go under my thumb, like that. And you can see from the overhead, I make sure this is very clear. So as they're coming in, I make sure, I don't want it to go really close like this, you know, or be really like this. I want to make sure it's as far away as possible. So as soon as it's under my thumb, I just kind of clamp down on it. Now, it could be at any angle that it goes in under your thumb, really, but I just want to make sure that it's very obvious that it's in that position, like this. And I'll often say to them, look, I don't want, this is where you've cut, and I don't want to manipulate it, so would you just watch and make sure nothing happens? And they say yes. And I draw attention to that to really make it clear that nothing is happening. And this is where they cut. They can't argue with that because that is where they cut. Now, at this moment here, I'm going to bring my right hand up and I say to them, would you hold up your left hand, which will be the one mirrored towards me, and just touch your fingertip to mine. And they go, okay. Now, at this point, the moment they do, and you'll see from the performances, we're both standing like this, I focus entirely on them. I get a little bit more serious. I haven't said that I'm reading minds. I haven't said anything, really. All I'm really going to do is just try and pull them into this moment just through a sense of presence, me being truly connected. If I'm really connected to this moment, it will pull them in. So in this moment, I take this really seriously. I'm not just showing them a quick trick. In my mind, I'm doing this for real, right? I'm not going to try and tell them that or anything else, but in my mind, this is what I need to do. This allows me to do this. It allows me to take this moment seriously. They touch, and they're up here like this. Okay, great. I look at them for a second, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to put these down for a moment. Okay, watch, make sure I don't do anything sneaky. Look, we're going to keep them there. There we go, it's where they cut. It doesn't matter. Now, the moment we touch like this, the moment we touch tips, once we're here like this, what I'm going to do is, in fact, we could probably show this. We can show this in all the cameras here. Oh, we've got the choice in edit now. All I'm going to do is very quickly, I'll exaggerate this for camera, but I'm just going to push like that. That's a massive exaggeration. I don't push like that. I just do a small little tap like that. Actually, I want to move not the finger. I want to almost move my whole like wrist and arm, so you don't really see much happen. I just push across, and it's just light. And the best way to do that is not to start pushing very hard. Because if you start pushing hard, you've got to push harder back. Actually start touching really light. And this really means that all I need to do is this tiny little tap. Now, no one else is really looking up here anyway, because I put the focus here, okay? So I'm looking directly at them. I know this is unnerving. I'm staring right down the lens, but I'm right up here like this. I do that small little tap like that. And I just immediately say, did you feel that? And they're going to say yes, because they will have felt that. So you just do this, bump, and you go, did you feel that? They say yes. And I immediately say, it's red. And at this point, they will often react, and everyone around them will feel like they felt something, and that is what has transmitted the information. It's a dual reality idea, and they are not looking up here. They won't have seen that tapping, or not really tapping, that kind of push pressure. They won't have seen that moment. So in this moment here, I just tap and I just go, did you feel that? And they say, yes. And I go, it's red. And they're going to react. Now, all I'm doing is saying the color of the card that I picked, which is the Queen of Hearts. And so I'll say, okay. And then I look at them and I go, it's a heart. And they say yes. And they start freaking out. Now, what's interesting about this is because you're touching here, they very rarely take their finger off in this process, but yet their body often tries to get away. So often they're moving around, but they're still connected, which really makes them feel very self-conscious. So it creates this really nice moment, a connection between you and this one person, which actually has quite a lot of visual stuff going on. It's this mind reading where there's something happening. It's not just looking at them and saying what something is, and then it's how did you know? It feels like this has got something to do with it. That's why I love it. It's effectively misdirection, and it's incredibly simple and potent, and it is simply touching your finger to another person. It's a gimmick that you carry with you every day. So this is why I like to kind of structure things in this way, where I don't need to carry more things or do more stuff. I can just use my hand, and I have this perfect tool for it. So we do this, bump. Did you feel that? Yeah, it's red. I'm like, whoa. Now, they don't really even know what that was. I'm not saying they're confused by it, but just the rhythm of that pacing, as you'll see from the performances, just pulls them into that space. Red, bump, and then I just look at them, and often I look away. Often I look away as if I'm getting information. I never say anything about any of this stuff. I don't say, oh, when you looked up, you saw this. I don't try and create any impression. I want them to feel that that's what's happening, rather than me telling them anything. This also means I can remain ethically sound. It means I don't have to lie to anyone. And so I can now do this, boom, red, yes, heart, yes. And then I just look away often and go, I look back and I just say, Queen of Hearts. And this is the moment where they're going to really react. Now, there's two things you have to do here. often, sometimes they react and they still don't take their finger off. But if they do, I don't want them to lose focus on this moment. At this moment, they will have forgotten about the cards being cut on the hands. But I don't want to lose focus. So I'll say, no, wait, stop. Come in. And then it's in this moment that I'll say that, this was just one form of touch. This was mine, right? And I said to you at the beginning there was going to be two. And in fact, you've already used yours. In fact, you used a sense of touch in order to cut the cards precisely here, right? And like, yeah, and so wouldn't it be interesting if you've cut the cards, the very card you were thinking of? I can look at it this way and then slowly open. And in opening like this as well, this is the cross-cut force, but in this way, it really feels like it's been cut from inside. It doesn't feel like anything else. It's been there. And this whole trick, by the way, has served as time misdirection for the cross-cut force. So once we're here, I can turn and I can show. And in this moment, they react. This makes no sense. This is information that seems to have passed across some kind of strange arm, finger, brain barrier. And then it turns out that they've cut to the very card they were thinking of before this even happened. This is a very, very interesting effect that's incredibly simple in a way, but the structure of it took me a very long time to put together in order to kind of get the moments that feel right. That's why I don't want having a card selected. I have one peaked at the beginning, or a fingertip peak. I'll then glimpse that. I then do a stock shuffle, glimpse it as I hand it to them. They will then cut this into my hands like this. And if you think about it, there's a lot of sophisticated psychological elements going on here. A cross-cut force operates on a very interesting psychological level. This is not only interesting in itself with a dual reality as a result of that slight push and their agreement, but also it's serving as misdirection from the nature of the cross-cut force. And all of this happening in the most simple way. It's like you get access to a thought inside of their mind and then show that they'd already cut to it before anything had begun. So that's the touch. Enjoy, practice it, and give it your best. Go out and start touching people.